Hello, friends. Now, the new topic, new lessons. Obviously, this time we are going to look into the creating table design names in the table. For that, you will have to use another file, friends. That file, as I told you on my website, you will find one more file called as PGDM exercise base file. That's the file I am using. When you download, you'll find only two tabs there or two worksheets there using the appropriate name, rate card and one called as a customer. So only two of those are there. And we are going to use it for the lessons which are after this, and very important one, as I told you, what is a table? Look at it here, friends. Table as a basic concept is where you have your data which is in structured in the rows and columns. Basically the columns are representing the field names. For example, this table, if you look at it, it is job area, rate per day offshore, rate per day on site. These are the three fields there, and there are so many records. If I go ahead and select it, you will realize here count 7, which means it has a 7 or 8 records. Okay, each of the record will have some rate on site, some job area, some rate, and offshore. That's so. Similarly, this one is another table there. This is the, strictly speaking, statistically, this is called as a table. In the database languages, computer languages, software languages, these are called as the table, where the data is structured in the columns and rows, while each of the column shows a field and each of the row shows a record here. However, in Excel, it is extended a little bit. What does it mean? If you look at the menu here, you'll find that home, insert, draw, page layout, all those menus here, the last one being power pivot there. If I now click onto the customer, you will find that there is a new menu added called as a table design. And this is also looking slightly different. Now, why is this? Because in Excel, you can go ahead and announce an area to be a table. Here it is done. This particular area, which has these details like customer, their category, the billing address, city, contact person, and so on. So these are all the fields. While there are multiple records, how do I count there? I clicked onto the first one. I press shift, end, and down. The moment I do it, it says 57, which means there are 57 records. And how many fields? I will go ahead and select on customer. Again, same. Shift I have pressed. End, right. It will select all. So 6. 6 columns by 57 was this data, which is now announced as a table. And that's why you are able to see table design as a menu here. Okay. If I were to go ahead and do that for this particular data, you can do it. You can actually. So let's try to do it here from job area to this, select all that thing. Okay. Now click on to something called as the insert. Look at it here, because the table option is not at all there still. Take a drop down for table and then click on table. The moment you click on the table, see what happens in terms of the menus there. See, it is asking me saying that, is this the area where data is there? Because I have selected it there. It's correct. Then he's saying that, do you have, the first row which you have selected, are they your headers? So it's absolutely correct. They are the headers. So click on OK. The moment you click on OK, two things happen. Number one, the colors changed. Basically it has given some numbering and some colorful look to that thing. In addition to that, there is a thing called as a table design which has come there. Okay. If you click onto the table design, you will find that there are several options to give the color here. So for example, if I like this particular format, I have a choice to do that. You can select that and that will become the format. More important aspect you need to realize that this table has been called as table 2. Look at it here. Under the table name, you will find it's called as a table 2. Let's check what happens in the customer. If I go into the customer tab and click here, you will find this table has been given a name as customers. Customers is a very familiar name. I will come to know saying that whatever data there in this table, it is customer data. So what about this one? If I want to do that, no worries. Select this particular thing. If you are somewhere here, if your cursor is somewhere here or here, this table design will get disabled automatically because you are not in a table. Click here and table design will come. Click there and same to same like giving name to the ranges, you need to click it here. Name ranges, you need to do it in the name box. Here you need to do into table name. Table to give any familiar name. As I told you, this looks to be, the rate card. So let me call it as rate underscore card. Friends, rule is same. You cannot use dash or space or is equal to, you can use underscore. Best option is to give, first letter as a capital and then underscore between the two words. So rate card is the name which is given to this, which means now this is called as a rate card. Like, friends, you remember we were using the names in the formulas. Same thing could be done here as well. Sum. Now start typing rate and you will realize this has come here, rate card. Close bracket and it comes. So basically it is, it is usable into the formulas. There are more intelligent way, better way, which we'll be seeing into the next video very soon. So that's the advantage of, the creating the table, color format and all that thing you can change easily. Another strange advantage of this particular thing is that tomorrow, if you believe that, you are adding some field here, for example, I went ahead and someone told me that this is the job area, this is the rate, this is the rate, and I want this to be, shown as the level of this thing, level. So if I type level and hit enter, remember friends, it got extended. Now this has become part of the table. The same table, it is now extended. So let me call it as, the junior. I mean, I'm just giving some number here, junior, and then, so here I will go ahead and call it as middle. Here I will call it as senior. And here also I will call it as senior. Here I will call it as senior, and senior. So this got extended automatically. Tomorrow, if I go ahead and insert some rows here, I say insert, and let's say there was a new grade. Someone came and he said that apart from developer, senior developer, and all that thing, we also are going to use consultant. So I type it here, consultant, and hit enter. The moment I hit enter, it automatically comes there. Remember, there was a formula for this one. Rate per was a formula. This formula also got extended here. So if I go ahead and say that consultant happens to be a person whose rate is going to be what, 4,100 per day, it will go ahead and calculate it here. I can go ahead and, put him as a senior, whatever. Basically, if you add rows below the table, it will get automatically extended. You need not have to worry about definition again. Remember, if I go into the table design, you will realize this is still part of the rate card. So this is one advantage of, using the table names. In the customer, if you look at it here, it is here. This is all of these things here. Now, there is one more unique advantage of using the tables. And for showing that, I am going to explain you this feature. This category you can see here, category gold, silver, bronze, and there are invoice at start, invoice at 30 days, invoice in the end. We will be using this feature later, maybe in one of the exercise. So let me explain what is this. It actually says that, each of the customer belongs to either gold, silver, or bronze. You click onto the customer, you'll find his category. Every one of them is mapped to one of the three categories there. Okay. Now, what it says is that for this type of thing, how much amount of invoice will be done at the start? It is 10%. How much will be done in after 30 days? Once the project starts, after 30 days, how much will be there? And in the end, how much will be there? You realize that for gold, we are charging most of the amount in the end. For silver, we are charging 30% in between, 60% in. On the other hand, bronze, which is probably the least of the important categories, 40% we are recovering in 30 days and 50% here. So this is, how it is there. Now let me go ahead and try to bring these details. For example, invoice after 30 days, this amount I wish to go ahead and bring into customer table. Okay, so here is the customer table. So I go ahead and, maybe add one column. As you know, the moment I add the column, it will automatically take care of extending the table. So here, invoice at 30 days, which means after 30 days, automatically my, table got extended here. And now I need to put a formula. So look at it here, the old trick, VLOOKUP. Then after that, He's saying, what do you want to look up? He is actually asking lookup value. So I want to look up category. Did you notice the moment I typed, rather than typing C3, he has said at client category. Correct? At client category. Look here in the formula bar. At. What does it mean? For the current record, wherever you are entering the formula, for that current record, whatever is the client category, is not referring it as a C3 or anything. He's saying client category, comma. Now, table array. As you know, we need to do it here. Last time I didn't, we look up when we used it, the table array and the formulas where you are creating were in the same sheet. Not necessarily. You can use it from other sheet. This time, let's do it. Click on to rate card. Okay. And select this table because I want to do it for this table. Okay. So whole of that, comma. Okay, comma. Followed by that, now, I will have to select the invoice for 30 days. This is 1, 2, and 3. So, comma 3, comma false. I am sure you would have realized that before I hit enter, I need to be careful. Why, friends? I am sure you would have realized that you should lock the range rate card. Let's try to do it by not doing it. Click here and you will find a lot of them are actually coming as NA or 0, which is wrong. It is because we have not locked it. So let me go ahead and do it here. I click onto this function F4, the same function F4. And did you notice one thing, friends? The moment I modified this formula, all formulas below got modified. This is another advantage of table. So one more advantage. But that's not all what I was going to tell. What I was going to say that can I go ahead and this rate card, this which is this table, category and all that thing, invoice strategy, can I convert that into a table? Let's try to do it. I will go ahead and first of all, remove all these records. This formula I am just removing. And now what I am going to do, before I enter the formula, I announce this to be a table. You know by now, you need to select whole of that thing, click on insert, table and table. Okay. It is saying it has a header. Yes, absolutely. Okay. If you wish, go ahead and change the design so that it's more readable and then give a name to this called as, category invoice. So basically I am giving a name to it called as a category invoice table. Okay. Now coming into this thing, now look at it. We are trying to again rebuild VLOOKUP. As you know, click here and it will say add client category. And now I am going to tell him, go ahead and pick up from that. Look at it here. If I say category invoice, look at it here, category invoice. The moment I do it, it comes table array, comma. He is asking column index number. Again, same thing, 3 and comma false. If you look at it here, you will realize the formula will come without locking the thing, So that is the advantage. Use the tables. Wherever you have a structured data, ensure that use the structured data and announce it as a table. That's the advantage of it. We will be learning a lot of more tricks about these tables and all that thing in the upcoming videos.